Every evening at exactly 6:15 p.m., a young man sat on the same bench at platform 7. No luggage, no ticket, no destination, just silence. His name was Adrian, and no one noticed him. People rushed past him every day. Businessmen checking their watches, students laughing loudly, families hugging goodbye. But Adrian just sat there, watching trains arrive, watching trains leave, as if he was waiting for something or someone. 3 months earlier, Adrian had lost his job. The company he worked for suddenly shut down. He told his parents he was fine, told his friends he had new plans. But the truth, he felt like a failure. The city felt louder, the nights felt longer, and the future felt blank. Platform 7 became his escape. There was something comforting about watching trains leave. They always had somewhere to go. Unlike him, one evening, an old woman sat beside him. She wore a simple gray coat and carried a small brown suitcase. She didn't look at him at first. She simply said, "Which train are you waiting for?" Adrian hesitated. "None." She smiled gently. "Ah, the hardest train to catch." He frowned slightly. "What do you mean?" "The train that takes you forward," she replied. He didn't answer, but for the first time in weeks, someone had spoken to him. The next day, she was there again, and the next. Every evening at 6:15. They didn't exchange names. They just talked. About life. About fear. About missed chances. She told him something strange one night. Most people think they're stuck because they failed, but sometimes they're stuck because they're afraid to begin again. He stared at the tracks. "I tried," he whispered. "It didn't work." She nodded, then tried differently. One evening, Adrian asked, "Where are you traveling to?" She looked at the departure board. "Tomorrow," she said softly. He didn't understand, but he didn't ask more. The following evening, Adrian arrived at 6:15 p.m. The bench was empty. No gray coat. No suitcase. Just silence. He waited. 6:30. 7 o'clock. She never came. Instead, a station worker approached him. "You knew Mrs. Eleanor." Adrian blinked. I don't know her last name." The worker smiled sadly. She used to come here every day after her husband passed. Said the trains reminded her that life keeps moving. He paused. "She moved into a care home this morning. Her health hasn't been good." Adrian felt something tighten in his chest. The worker handed him a small envelope. "She asked me to give this to the young man who sits on her bench." Adrian's hands trembled as he opened it. Inside was a short letter. "You remind me of my son. He used to sit quietly when he was afraid of disappointing the world. But life isn't about avoiding disappointment. It's about daring to disappoint fear instead. Tomorrow is waiting for you. Get on the train, Eleanor." There was also something else inside, a train ticket. One way to the city where Adrian had always dreamed of starting over. Tears filled his eyes. Not because of the ticket, but because someone had seen him, noticed him, believed in him. When he called in tea, believe in himself. The next evening, at exactly 6:15 p.m., Adrian didn't sit on the bench. He stood, holding a small backpack. The train doors opened. His heart pounded. Fear whispered, "What if you fail again?" But Eleanor's words echoed louder. "Dare to disappoint fear." He stepped inside. The doors closed. The train moved. Platform 7 slowly disappeared behind him. Years later, Adrian would return to that same station. But this time, not lost, not broken. He had built a small business, helped others who felt stuck, spoke openly about failure and second chances. And every year, on the same date, he would sit on that bench at 6:15 p.m. Not to wait, but to look for someone sitting alone, Someone who needed to hear. You're not stuck. You're just scared. Sometimes angels don't have wings. Sometimes they wear gray coats and sit quietly beside you until you remember who you are. If you feel stuck in life, maybe you're not waiting for a train. Maybe the train is waiting for you.